This is Ivan Vloon, aka Tony 2 Cents. As you can see, the light on this video is a bit better. I saw that my previous videos were a bit dark, and therefore I changed my angle. Very nice, eh? Well, this is the second session to Youth Ministry 101. I don't have a title for this one. It'll probably be on the YouTube up there. But this is following after last time session where you established that you are called to youth ministry, and you have resolved to commit yourself to the youth ministry for the next 3 to 5 years. Before I want to do that, if you watch the first video I made, which is the intro 2.0 intro, and the last video, you would probably think I'm contradicting myself when I'm saying in the first video that you should get involved with youth ministry in every which way that you can, and the second video I said that you should make sure that you're called to it. I just want to clarify that and say that there are lots of ways that you can get involved with youth ministry. When I'm talking about making sure that you're called to it, is that you need to look, if you're going to be the main thing, the leader of the youth ministry, i.e. the pastor or the main youth leader, then you must make sure that you're called to it. You can get involved with youth ministry in any other way, in any way. It's preferable that your church ordains as a pastor. With that comes authority, and I believe that's important, because then parents will trust you, and it's just easier for you to do stuff. When you're a youth minister, you'll find it's a little bit more difficult, because you don't really have, I would say, that spiritual authority, because God puts that power and spiritual authority behind the office of a pastor, which you'll find in Ephesians 4. Youth leader, you are mainly functioning in the gifts found in Romans 12, where it's basically practical service, exhortation, and that kind of thing. And now that we've put that aside, let's talk about your next step. You have now established yourself as called. You have said that you're going to be committed, and now we want to talk to you about more or less getting into the thing and finding your feet. What I want you to do is I want you to first go to your senior pastor, the one who ordained you, or the one that called on you to fulfill this function of being a youth minister. And I want you to go to him and find out what is his vision, because at the end of the day, even if you run things, even if you run the whole show, the senior pastor is the owner or the driver behind the youth ministry. If you don't have the blessings and the backing of your senior pastor, you will find it very difficult to achieve anything. It will be very, very hard. Not only spiritually, but in the natural as well. So I want you to go to your senior pastor before you attempt to do anything else at this moment. And I want you to go and ask him to share his vision for the youth and for the church with you, so you can know that you're both on the same page. Then, what does he want you as the delegated authority and the person that's going to take care of things in the youth ministry, what does he want you to achieve? And then also sort of find out from him what is his personal goals that he would like you to achieve in the youth ministry. After you've done that, you've got a more or less a clear idea of exactly what he wants, and you could formulate your own personal, not spiritual, but the vision for the youth ministry in itself. There's a lot of vision that I will deal with you with in all these sections. The spiritual vision that God will specifically share with you regarding your area, your nation, and your country, and the youth's role in that. And then there's the vision, which I'm talking about now, is the vision of the pastor, and how you can make that your vision and start working with that in the coming months. That vision will be the vision that you incorporate into the youth ministry of the church, and also make it part of the youth. Make sure that you and your pastor agrees on everything that you discuss. You know exactly what he expects of you, and then set the date when you will have the first meeting. It shouldn't be the next Friday that you come together, or obviously you'll decide which day you're going to start with the youth ministry. It'll either be on a Wednesday, which is Very good for some ministries because that is a weeknight and kids want an excuse to get out in the week. So if you can do that, you can start at 6:30 and be finished by 9. Get the kids at home by 9:30 and they're in bed by 10 o'clock. You have basically won them over, and you've sort of got the parents. They can go out that night. The kids are out their hair, which is a lot easier. I'm going to start flying now because I've got a lot of things to share. The meeting, you need to decide which day the meeting is going to be. The meeting is very important. It is the tool that you're going to use to build the youth ministry with and develop the ministries and the gifts of the children and their purposes inside. You need to decide firmly and agree with your pastor which day the youth service specifically is going to be. When I'm speaking about the youth service, I'm not talking about the service that the youth incorporate in and visit that forms part of the main church. I'm talking about a specific meeting that the youth come together and they and that is the specific night that you minister to them. Next, like I said, you're going to build the ministry around this meeting. You're going to use this meeting to build your youth ministry. This meeting should be spiritual. I believe that is exactly what the young people will expect. They will expect a churchy type service, but later I'll teach you exactly how to turn this meeting into a fun-filled event, a way for the children to say, listen, we had so much fun, they leave wanting more. But we'll talk about that later. The program we'll also talk about later. First, I want you to, as you endeavor in what I'm going to talk to you about now, I think we'll probably break this up into 2 sessions to deal with this. Make sure that you're prayed up before you plan, hear from God, try anything specific. You need to go and look at the venue. What does the venue look like that has been appropriated and given to you as stewardship that you may use? See if it is appropriate. We'll talk about later maybe on exactly how to find that out. But I want you to look at how that youth ministry or that venue is going to fit. How are you going to fit the youth ministry into that venue? How is it going to work? What can you use? What can't you use? Is this your own facility? You need to clear that up and agree with your pastor on exactly that fact. Is the facility, is it dedicated to just youth, or are you sharing the church with the main congregation? In other words, is it in church? If you're a small church, if you come from a small church and you've got function there, it'll probably be small. If it's a small church, you'll probably have the service in the same building. If it's a big church, you probably want, and you'll have a separate venue for your youth nights and your youth ministry where you run things, because it's important to sort of spice up the place, put a lot of color into it, get your own choreo, design, all that kind of stuff. That is what will probably happen very soon. I want you to not just jump in real quickly. Don't just jump into the meeting. There's a couple of things that you need to look at, plan, and make sure that you know how it works, how you're going to do it. It is very important. You need a plan. First of all, you need a plan. I'm going to talk to you about that in the next minute or so, and then let's say in the next session. Let's quickly talk about resources. I think our time is running out, and then let me just jog quickly what we're going to talk about in the next session. We're going to talk about resources. We're going to talk about incorporating those, identifying them and using them. What do you do with those resources? And then building your youth ministry around what you have and what we would like to have. And we'll get into the next session with that. Thank you for watching. This has been Ivan Viljoen for the 220. Our website 220generation.com, where there is awesome stuff for youth ministry and teachings that will fire you up for revival first, and for the rest of your personal ministry in the church to the kids and how you can personally grow. 220generation.com.